Hello and welcome. My name is Tara. I'm going to be sharing some information around the Lionsgate 8/8 portal and moving into the full moon in Aquarius on August the 11th. So if you think of it from a numerology standpoint, we have a lot of numbers that are lining up very nicely between this portal and the full moon in Aquarius. But I want to go back to the new moon in Leo that we just had on July 28th. Now the new moon in Leo came in at a really nice time after we had quite an intensive inward journey since the full moon eclipse in Scorpio that we had many cycles ago, about 3 cycles ago. But what is most important is that in the month of July, we had the moment to go inward, to work with our emotions, to build a foundation from a numerology standpoint in a universal month number 4, to work on what is important for us. What matters the most for us? Where can you stabilize, or could you have stabilized within your emotions, within your relationships, within your thoughts, and really starting to assess what matters for me the most? What kind of people do I want in my life? What kind of family dynamic do I want the most? What is going to be the most healthy and nurturing family dynamic for me? What kind of relationships are going to be healthy and nurturing for me? And also within self, realizing and understanding what's important for you, maybe having gone through a bit of a loss or some challenges in order to figure that out. And sometimes we have to go through that. Sometimes we have to face our own challenges internally or external challenges in order to come to that understanding of what is important for me. Who am I? What is my direction that I want to go down? What is calling me towards the future that I desire the most? And that was a little bit about what was playing out in the month of July. But then we ended off the month of July with that new moon in Leo. And it came in this beautiful time where we came from a time of being inward, and then we went out to share our light with the world. In our confidence, becoming more confident with who we are, seeing things differently, perhaps feeling differently about ourselves, expressing ourselves more maybe, or expressing ourselves differently, maybe being a little bit more optimistic and empowering about how we are going to challenge ourselves and how we are going to carve out our future, perhaps. So a lot of these energies were playing out during that new moon. It was a beautiful, beautiful time for manifestation, of course, but really connecting with who we are as individuals, who you are as an individual. Now, after this new moon in Leo, we move towards this portal, this 8/8 portal. Now, 8s in numerology are all about personal power and prosperity. 8 on its side is the infinity sign, which is the karmic law of cause and effect, law of attraction. So what we put out there in the universe is what we're getting back. We're continually manifesting, we're continually sending out frequencies into the universe and attracting equal magnitude in return, equal experiences. So this is a very powerful number to work with manifestation, to work with energy, to be very aware of our confidence and what we maybe established during that new moon in Leo. Very powerful energies, the two together. Now, I remember a year ago, I launched my moon manifestation program on the new moon in Leo, which was on the 8/8 portal, which was really powerful, really powerful. And regardless of the new moon and the 8/8 together, they're very much, I feel, aligned, meaning that when we honor ourselves and when we step into our personal power and confidence, and by personal power, I just mean being your authentic true self, and being confident with that, being comfortable with that, wanting to share your light with the world, wanting to express yourself with the world, not letting fears and limitations weigh you down anymore. And it is a process. It is a process of continually trying this out. How does it feel to challenge ourselves? How does it feel to speak our light? How does it feel to stand up for something we believe in? How does it feel to help others? And yes, maybe even show up in the online space, for example, or in our communities, or with our friends, or with our families. So it's all in how we show up in the world, how we express ourselves, based on our light, based on our pure, authentic self, and coming more and more into alignment with that. But yes, that does take time. It does take time to be comfortable with that, to peel back the layers within self, and maybe even also detach from situations that just aren't serving us anymore. That is part of the process, and it's going to be a continual process as we move along. Now, the 8/8 portal is, again, a very significant date because 8s, it's a very powerful number. It's a very powerful combination of the 8s. 8 is, again, personal power, prosperity. What we put out there is what we get back, but it's really standing in our power. It's being confident with who we are, what we want, and the kind of success and lifestyle we want accordingly, according to who we are, according to what draws us towards our future according to what we feel most in alignment with, not from the ego so much as from our authentic self. A little bit of ego, healthy ego, isn't so bad. It's not a bad thing to really challenge ourselves, to push ourselves, to have a little bit of that healthy competitive edge for us to really step up a bit, maybe, perhaps. However this is resonating with you, work with this energy of this 8-8 to really project yourself into the future that you want, but the person that you are going to be in your future, or that you want to be. And maybe there's something holding you back, or that's maybe limiting you a little bit. But these are all belief systems that we have ingrained within our subconscious since childhood, since past lives as well. But these are all the layers that we get to work with, and we dissolve, and we start becoming more confident with ourselves. Our voice becomes stronger, our light becomes brighter, our experiences become more enriched, our relationships become healthier, so on and so on and so on. It's a ripple effect. We are all connected. And when I get to stand in our light, it starts to resonate outwards. So this is what's happening right now. We are all shifting consciousness fast. And you may be catching a lot of these videos and saying, oh, we have another supermoon in Aquarius, which yes, we do. We have a full moon, supermoon in Aquarius on the 11th. The 11th, the 11. The 11 is a very symbolic number in numerology. So this is another supermoon. And you're probably going, oh, great. We just had 2 supermoons and we had an eclipse season and we just keep getting hit by all of these big energies. But remember the reason, and I'm going to quote Pam Gregory, astrologer. She just published a video on the full moon in Aquarius recently, and she said it perfectly, that we are all going through an upgrade in our consciousness, in our evolution, in our spiritual alignment. And we are starting to go through this process faster and faster. And yes, the energy is intensifying and things are starting to become a little bit bumpy, but we need that. We need that in order to evolve, in order to allow for the old energies and situations and structures to fade away, to break apart and fade away. And that is what's happening, but it's going to need more time to fully transform and to fully integrate into the light. So as she mentioned, it's physics. When the majority of light starts to vibrate at a higher frequency, the lower density energies will fade away, will drop away. So this is the process that we're in. This is the transformation that we're in. We're all moving towards a higher state of consciousness. But yes, it's going to take time, and it's going to be quite a ride as we move through this process. So that's why I'm here to help guide you through these moments so that you can gain the most out of this work and out of these energies and out of these moon phases as well, because they are very potent, they're very powerful. And the more that we can work with them, the more that we get to transform. And it's also all about staying on track with what you want and who you are, and the dedication. Again, the more that we can do this work, the faster your evolution is going to happen, the more you're going to realize, and the more confident you're going to be with reaching your goals. So you'll be able to, again, heal from the past, or resolve old beliefs, or just shake off that old energy, those old wounds, or those old identities maybe that haven't been serving. And it is very much of moving towards your pure authentic self, which is very, very powerful. It's a very powerful place to be. And your energy is going to reflect outwards. You are going to change the world. That's why you're here. And that's probably why you are watching these videos, because your soul has signed up for this in some kind of form. So whether it is something you're going to do for work, or something that is just going to resemble who you are when you're engaging in the outer world, is all powerful. It all plays a very significant role in that evolutionary process. So it's a really great time. And I know it can seem very daunting when there are a lot of these energies that we get constantly hit with. It's up and down. And now that I understand this more and more and more, I'm becoming more even with my energies, dealing with some of these circumstances of the full moons, the new moons, and some other pivotal moments that we have within the stars and just our energy on this planet. Full moon in Aquarius on the 11th. Now we had the new moon in Leo. Then we have the 8-8 portal. Then we have the full moon in Aquarius. And the reason why these 3 moments are very important is because they line up perfectly. And if you caught some of my other videos, these situations couldn't have happened better, even though they may seem intense and it may seem like a lot again to manage. But the more that we work with this, it actually is working in our favor. It is hugely transformative for us to work with this energy. The moon in Aquarius, the full moon in Aquarius, yes, another supermoon, is going to end this cycle of supermoons for now. But this full moon in Aquarius is very much offering a time to really address those serious energies that we've been holding on to consciously or unconsciously. Any limitations, any fears, anything that's getting in our way within self, to release that so that we can be more within ourselves, so that we can stand up and help the collective based on your alignment, based on our alignment with our individualistic self. Now, Aquarius air sign is a very individualistic energy. However, it thinks of the collective. It operates on a more expansive collective level. However, it's very individualistic and owns itself. It basically marches to the beat of its own drum type of energy. Doesn't like rules or regulations so much, likes to maybe challenge a few things, but also thinks outside the box for the greater collective, might see into the future. Very expansive, very broad thinking as well. How can I do my part? How can I be of service to help the greater collective? So that is very much in alignment with this new moon in Leo, all about the willpower, our strength, our courage, our light, our expression. And then we move into the Aquarius energy of being very individualistic. So how can we move that energy and to help the greater collective? Challenge the old systems perhaps, or just be our unique self and how we are going to make an impact in the world in whatever way that is, big or small, it doesn't matter. It's all the same. It all helps from an energetic standpoint. So this full moon is going to be very significant. It's basically asking us, what do we need to release and get serious about our goals, about who we are, what we want to create, about what's important for us, how we maybe can help the greater collective, or just what needs to go, what needs to be released to finally break free and break through into the future that we want. Step by step, we get closer and closer. So it's very important to always keep your eye on the prize, always keep your eye on the goal. When I guide everyone through these moon workshops or through especially the new moons, we focus on our goal, we focus on our future. And if you have that in your line of sight, and some days we'll forget about it, some days we'll just continue through our day and then we'll forget about our goal. But as long as we have put it out there and projected it into the universe and check in with ourselves on a regular basis, just to remember where we're going, what is important for us, where are we going with our goals, where do we see ourselves in our future, who are we in our future? That is our guiding light. That is going to help us get through some of these moments. And some of the things do have to fall apart within us in order for us to get there, in order for us to be that person who we want to be in the future, creating the abundant future that we want, the love, the success, the enjoyment, the freedom, whatever it is for you. This full moon is very important. It's going to be very strongly related to that new moon in Leo. Remember, all about self, all about what can you release at this time in this full moon to fully move into the future that you want based on your courage, based on your light. You're going to have new realizations after this full moon. Things are going to be a lot clearer, and you might even become serious with more of your goals as we move into Virgo season next. And also don't forget that in August, it's a universal month number 5, which is very much of change. So expect change to happen. And I feel that's part of what this portal also offers. When we're very conscious, when we're becoming a conscious creator of our reality, what we're putting out into the universe is what we get back. So some of you out there might be getting some of your manifestations. Some of you might actually be witnessing some big change showing up based on your alignment, based on what you've been manifesting, based on some of the change that you've been making within yourself or your outer world. So however this impacts you, I'm wishing you all the best. I am going to be hosting a full moon ritual on the full moon in Aquarius. I hope you can join. I'll leave a link below. And I'm wishing you all the best during this time leading into this full moon, especially on the 8/8 day. Make the best of it. I'll be seeing you soon. Take care.